can you explain the other phenomena that I've observed with some musicians, especially guitarists? You know, they're up here, they're way up high on the fretboard, they're playing those high notes. That thing is just wailing, and they make these expressions with their face, with their mouth, you know, and the guy looks like he's having a baby or something. How do you explain that?
He's feeling it.
Oh.
You can't just
Is he in
play.
pain?
You just got to feel it. No, that's ecstasy, as a matter of fact. Guitar players have a strange perversion of ecstasy.
That's how they learned to play. Before they could afford a guitar, it was the air guitar with the mouth noise.
That's true.
So they were sitting there going, and they still do that.
You know, the Eagles were in town over the weekend. Did you catch them, by the way?
No.
Always do a great show. And Joe Walsh is one of my favorites because he does that. He'll be playing some wild solo, you know, and you'll see his mouth mimicking the notes. I don't know what he's saying in his mind, but he's, you know, wah, 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 doing that thing while he's playing guitar.
Well, the guitar was the main instrument that brought in the rock era.
Yeah.
When that went electric, that took rhythm and blues to another level.
And wasn't it Les Paul that electrified the guitar?
I knew Les Paul.
Did you really?
Absolute
Do you have
genius.
some?
I grew up in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And he was very, very approachable. Absolute genius. Everything that goes on in a recording studio, or for that matter, some of the equipment you're using, was originally conceived by Les Paul.
Is that right?
He was a great guitar player. He recorded with Mary Ford in the 50s. And their records, nobody understood what was going on. She had 50 voices. He was playing 100 instruments. And he invented things like sound on sound, sound with sound, echo, reverb. An absolute genius.
They were doing that with, was it with quarter-inch tape, or had they graduated to half-inch
fat tape?
Okay.
Very fat tape, yeah.
But it was still, it was multi-track recording when it was very cumbersome to do.
Yeah, I think he invented the 4-track, and then Motown came in with the 8-track. Now it's, you know, digital can be unlimited tracks.
Well, that's true, but the basics are still there.
Yeah.
And if you foul it up, you foul it up.
You know, recording used to be if you made a mistake, you had to start all over again.
Yes.
And now with multi-tracks, I mean, you just keep doing it till you get it right.
Well,
I can actually piece solos together.
Still have a couple of scars on the ends of my fingertips from where I was learning to splice tape with a razor blade and tape.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's how the producers in the other room are looking at me like I'm some kind of a Martian or something. That's how we used to do it. And you would put the tape in a block with a 45-degree slash in the middle of it, and you run that razor blade over the tape through that groove, and it would give you a uniform cut every time so that you could match those pieces together. And then you'd put a little piece of Scotch tape over it to hold it in place. That was tape editing.
And I did some of it myself.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a hit record in the late 60s, and it was basically a bunch of stuff spliced together. And we had a room like this with pieces of tape all over the room putting it together.
Labeled.
So, yeah.
Labeled. So, and you know, you kind of talk about this in terms of how to operate a business and how to be improvisational, how to make your ideas sing and take wings and to fly. And when we come back from the break, I want to talk about the other side of that equation, the fatal errors that we sometimes can make. And there's one in particular coming up, ladies and gentlemen, that you're going to need to be aware of long about the end of the year. We'll tell you about that with Barry C. Siegel's 51 Fatal Business Errors and all that jazz here on Talk 650, powered by CBS Radio.
This is Stephen K. with Brent Clanton, and it's 31 past the hour. If you have a question or comment, give us a call at 713-9-650-650.